Okay. Hi, Kelly. Chad and Amy. Oh, I see my dad. He's
Dancing already?
extra as always.
Dancing.
Happy Veterans Day, Fred.
And we have Lorraine in the house tonight,
Yes, we do.
right?
Yes, I'm so excited to be here.
Nice.
Yes, we are excited to have you.
Who else is up there?
We have Mike. We have
I see
Amanda and Brandon, Undead Club.
Chuck Zamzow, Kristen, Matt M, Kelly.
Katie. Miss Penny, Chad's mom.
Let's see. Penny 3 is my mom, guys. So go ahead and say hi to her. The other Penny,
Doesn't come on anymore.
yes, she does. Doesn't she?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Oh. Actually, I don't see any other Pennies on here. I hope
Oh,
Pe-
Candy's on here.
I
Hi,
hope,
Candy.
I hope
love
Penny
you.
comes back. How's the Undead Club doing? Amanda and Brandon, you guys good?
Oh, Jerry's on here. Hi, Jerry. Chuck. Julian.
Katie
Oh,
from
shit,
Chico,
Julian.
California.
Julian's sitting up. He ain't laying down in his bed right now.
Where is he?
Right there.
Right there.
Right there.
Oh, what's up, Julian? It's late. You just been out there being a dancing fool lately, huh? If y'all don't follow Julian, go check him out because he'll make your day better every day with his little dance videos.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually it's kind of funny because he's low key a social media influencer.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
Definitely.
did you ever look and see how many people follow Julian?
Oh, he is.
Yeah, it's dope. And I see why, because bro, you're funny.
Uh-huh. Joelle's on here.
And we got Mike the Glock Ness monster.
Mm-hmm.
Glock Ness.
Virginia.
I see
Katie,
Wendy.
Vanessa.
Oh, there's Wendy
Oh,
and
I don't see-
Michael.
Where's
Hey
Wendy?
guys.
I don't
What's
see
up,
Wendy.
guys?
Hi, Wendy.
Do you guys know Katie from Chico, California? Anybody?
I don't.
No.
I don't.
Vaughn, what's going on? Charlene, iPhone.
Matt. I see you, Matt. Hi, Bob.
Look at Oz's beard. That's a nice beard.
Where's Joe B?
Joe B.
Joe B.
Not here.
Not here.
All right, let's get this party started.
Let's get it.
Really quick, just a quick rundown of the reason why the Hopeaholics podcast exists. I will always say this before every meeting and every event that we do. On 9/11 of 2022, I lost my son-in-law to fentanyl, and it's the whole reason why this podcast exists. God put it on my heart to be the voice for the people that have lost their lives and to offer hope to the people that are out there struggling, and even to offer hope to people that are sober and maybe struggling, because I know what that feels like too. And the one thing I can promise you guys is that if you stay clean, your life will get better. But if you get loaded, I promise you your misery will be refunded in full. In full. And there is nothing that a drink or a drug will make better today. You know, feelings are just feelings. They don't have to be good or bad, and we can walk. They can be uncomfortable, but we can walk through them together. You know, and that's why we do all of this stuff. We want to remind everybody that, help's available. All you have to do is reach out, and hope's still alive, man. If you can just have a little mustard seed of hope, just that glimmer. Because I could tell you on my very last day, I was completely and utterly hopeless, and I didn't want to get clean. I just wanted to die, and thank God that he sent his angels in the form of the Orange County Sheriff's Department to rescue me. And that's what it took. And it gave me enough, just enough to break that cycle. And, and that didn't happen for my son-in-law. He was in pain. He was struggling. He was hurting. And, he bought a Percocet off the streets, and it had too much fentanyl in it. And I don't sit here and tell you that he was an innocent bystander. He had the disease. he suffered like we suffer. But he gave up his seat. He gave up his life so that y'all could, hopefully have a chance. And thanks for joining us every Tuesday night for this Recover Out Loud meeting. Without you guys, this doesn't exist. Hi, Donna. I see my beautiful wife.
Hi, Donna.
On the screen.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah. You got anything before we introduce the speaker?
I don't think so, except the adding on to you, like I always do, is breaking the stigma of addiction and alcoholism, and really for us to continue to recover out loud, because our secrets keep us sick, and none of us are alone. We're in this thing together, and we can recover, and we can do it, and we do have a solution, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So we appreciate all you guys showing up every single Tuesday, because without you it would just be me and Chad, and that's no fun.
No.
And Emily, and young Emily.
All right, well, we got Lorraine tonight.
Yep. You have.
And Wendy, I got her name right.
Can you believe it, Wendy?
Yay.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Long story short, when Wendy was here, I couldn't remember. Never mind.
And now it's an ongoing thing that probably everyone's tired of hearing about it. But
look at Kashi Mumu.
Where?
Says,
Oh, there's Kashi.
yeah, he's got ears on.
There's Kashi. So you have like about 20 minutes. Your timer is up there. It says 13 at the moment. Oh, okay. Oh, perfect, Emily.
All right, Lorraine, you're
there
up.
You go.
All
Take it
right.
away, girl.
Well, thank you guys for having me, and I want to thank Michael for introducing me to you guys and for recommending me. I don't know how great of a decision that's going to be, but I love Michael. Wendy is my sobriety sister. We have the same sponsor. My sobriety date is April 7, 2021. My voice is a little hoarse because I've been sick, but I was not going to miss today. Michael called me on Sunday, and he's like, "You weren't at the meeting." And I was like, I have the flu, but I'm going to be there on Sunday. I'm resting and taking NyQuil and DayQuil and resting and doing what I need to do so that I can make it here today. It's a great honor and privilege to be able to share my story. When I first started, I didn't want to share because I thought it was boring. My story was boring. And it wasn't until I heard somebody else's story that was just like mine, which was boring, that I felt like I belonged here and I felt comfortable. So, when I got here 4 years and 7 months ago, I was married. I had 2 kids, the house, the cars, the job, hadn't lost anything. And the only thing that I almost lost was my life and my sanity. I had lost my sanity, psychosis. I didn't know you can go into psychosis from only alcohol. I thought that was like a drug thing. Like you do drugs, you go crazy. That's what it is. But alcohol landed me in psychosis in the hospital, and it scared me, but not enough to, not leave the ER after I was okay and drive straight to the liquor store. And I had gotten to that point where I couldn't not drink anymore. It was something I needed to have. And 6 months prior to getting sober, I was in and out of the hospitals, and I'd go and I'd check myself in. And by this time, my husband's like, "I'm not going to take you. You're going to do this by yourself." And I'm like, perfect, because if you take me, then you're not going to take me to the liquor store afterwards, and that's where I'm going to go. And that's how it was. Before we started the meeting, you guys, I told you guys this is my first sobriety date, and that's the truth. This is the first time that I've gotten sober and gotten a date and kept it. But it's not my first time in the rooms. The first time I found out about Alcoholics Anonymous, I was 27, and the doctor was like, "Hey, you might want to look into like AA because your liver enzymes are a little high." And I was like, "No, I don't think I'm an alcoholic." But back then it was still fun and partying. I had both kids by then. I had my son when I was 20 and my daughter when I was 24. And I thought I was just like living a good life, and that as long as everything was okay, like the bills were paid and the kids were going to school, that I could drink the way that I wanted to drink. And as long as the outside looked okay, it was okay. And my health started to fail me just a little. And I checked out AA, and I came into the rooms, and I was like, no, I didn't identify. And that was my fault. I was looking for all the differences so that I can come home and tell my husband and my therapist, like, this is why I'm not an alcoholic. Like, you're still here. All the women in AA are divorced, and the kids are still at home. Like, most of the women lost their kids, and I still have a job, and I still go to work, and I kept myself in that delusion for 11 years. And in 2018, I didn't get a book, I didn't get a sponsor, I didn't go to meetings. I went to a couple of meetings and checked it out, but I walked myself right out of there and convinced myself and everybody else that I was okay. But in 2018, I came back again on the advice of a doctor. But by this time, I had like this history of hospitalizations from alcoholism, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it again. So I came back into the rooms. Didn't stay long again. Maybe, I don't think I even stayed a whole month, but I didn't do anything. But this time I bought the books, guys. I bought the big book and the 12 and 12, and I got one of all the pamphlets, and I put them in a bag and I threw them in the attic, and I never pulled them out. I never opened them. And I don't know. I just walked myself right out of Alcoholics Anonymous for the second time. And this time the time frame was a little bit shorter. And 2021 was a Wednesday. It was 2:30 a.m. I was getting up for work because I worked at 3:30 a.m. And I woke up, and I don't know if you guys have ever felt like, I think I'm gonna die today. Like that feeling of like, I'm gonna die. I had gotten to that. You had said something like you wanted to die. I felt like I was going to die, but I was already at the point where I was okay if I died. Like, I'm like, the kids are old enough. They were 14 and 18. Like, my husband's young enough to maybe find another wife. And, but I kept waking up every day. And that morning I felt like I was going to die. And I woke up, and I woke my husband up, and I was like, you're going to have to call in sick today because I need to go to rehab. And I had never been to rehab, and I didn't know where to go to rehab, but Kaiser had my extensive history of alcoholism. So when I called in and told them, they were like, don't go anywhere. We're going to call you back. And in a couple hours, they had a bed for me at a rehab facility in Covina. And I packed a bag and I went. And they put me in detox they were going to put me in detox for a week, and I only lasted 3 days before I had to be taken to the hospital via ambulance. In the middle of the night, they come in, they check your vitals every couple of hours. I don't remember anything from those 3 days in detox. I remember being in a cot. I remember being sweaty. I don't remember eating. I don't remember any meetings. I don't remember any people. And I just remember they were checking my vitals in the middle of the night, and then they threw me on a stretcher, and I was at the hospital. And I stayed another 3 days at the hospital detoxing. And when it was time to go home, they wanted to call my husband, and I'm like, don't call my husband, because if you call my husband, he's going to pick me up, and I'm going to convince him to take me to the liquor store. That's just how it always was. And so they called the rehab facility, and they picked me up and took me into the inpatient treatment for 28 days. And that's when I felt like I was finally completely and utterly ready to do whatever it is that you guys asked me to do. And they said, get a sponsor and work the steps and go to meetings and help another alcoholic. And I jumped in like both feet first. And I got a sponsor, and I started working my steps. And, for the first year, it was just me trying not to pick up a drink. Whenever I wanted to, and my car wanted to drive me to Benny's liquor store, because, when you have that GPS and it knows where you're going, depending on the time of day, like it knows you're going to work, or mine's knew I was going to liquor store after work, or when I was leaving, and it depending on where I was. And I just drove to a meeting, or I called another person in the program that I had met, that week, or I'd pick up somebody that didn't have a car and go to a meeting. And I established like a set of meetings that I was going to go to, and I started working the steps, and stuff started changing. Right now I have the same husband. We've been married for 21 years. I have the same kids and the same house and the same car. We have a cat now, but we have the same dog. But everything inside of my heart and everything inside of my head has been rearranged in the way that the book promised me that it would. Like the way that I react to things, the way that I absorb situations and people and feelings. And like you said, feelings are not facts. So like I can try to understand that a little bit better thanks to going to different meetings and talking to different people and hearing people's experiences and having that connection with another human being. You know, when I heard that for the first time, that I was unable to have a connection with another human being, I was like, that's not true. Like have these kids and this husband, but having that true connection with another human being is something that I found in Alcoholics Anonymous. And being able to reconnect with my higher power, which I didn't actually touch upon yet, has been one of the biggest things that I've gotten in Alcoholics Anonymous. Like, I know God brought me to AA 100%, because I would not have come on my own. And then AA brought me back to God, which is the craziest thing in the world. So my husband, when I met him, I didn't know he was Christian. He still is. And he plays in the band every Sunday. He plays keyboard, and he's been doing that since he was a little kid. When I met him, I got into church, and I was in for 7 years. And it was when I was 27 that I separated from the church because I felt guilty for going out and drinking and having a good time with my girlfriends. And I had that higher power that was like, you pick being bad or you're good. Like, you can't have both. And there was like that. I felt like I was extremely judged and I couldn't do it. So I completely separated myself from God. You know, and my husband continued to go to church and stay in his faith and didn't falter. And I did. And I thought I was never going to be welcomed back into like the good graces of my higher power, which I call God. And to be able to come into Alcoholics Anonymous and make that connection with my higher power that I've never been able to have before this strong has been the most amazing thing. Like, I can pause and talk to God anytime I want. And back then I thought it was only like something I can do on a Sunday, you know, between 9 and 10 a.m. and that God was not available to me and that I didn't have access to that power. And having had this experience with Alcoholics Anonymous, that's a spiritual program and not a religious program, gives me, I think, the freedom to be able to tap into God like I've never been able to before. And that's given me, I don't know, like the freedom to be me. Like, I grew up in foster care and I felt like I had like this stigma that I was going to be like, you know, bad parent, drug addict, alcoholic, check one of two, and that I was not going to amount to be anything. And so I tried really, really hard, you know, when I turned 18 and emancipated, to be the best that I could be. And when I had my kids, I'm like, I'm going to be the best mom. And that happened for a little while until alcohol came into my story. But now that I have Alcoholics Anonymous in my story, like, I feel like I'm the best version of me that I've ever been. And it took, you know, I was 37 and I'm 42 now. And it took what it took. And I'm so grateful for this program and for the people that I've met on this journey. I know everybody's placed in my path for a reason. And I don't need to know why anymore. I needed to know why for everything. I was like, control was one of my biggest things. And I'm still working on it. But not having to be like the master of the universe is so relieving. It feels like freedom. Like,
Yeah.
like I can relax. I don't have to do everything. I don't know. I just continue. Like I said, the first year was just trying to stay sober. The second year, actually, we were just talking about 0 to 1, 1 to 2. I was just got my first birthday when I started sponsoring women. And I was like, how am I going to, like, I'm going to mess these people up. I don't know if you guys can cuss or not.
Yeah.
I was like, how am I going to fix these people? I'm going to fuck them up. And and I had this one girl in program that has a couple of years more than me. And she said, the only wrong way to sponsor is not to sponsor.
Yeah.
And that hit me in a way that I didn't expect it to hit me. And I was like, all right, let's go. And I started sponsoring women. And it has been like a different shift of my program, because I get to see it from the other side. And they, we have this family chat and they always thank me for being their sponsor. And I'm like, no, like you guys are definitely helping me more than I help you. And I didn't know what that meant when I heard it the first time, before I was sponsoring, when my sponsor would say it to me. But I see it now because there's sometimes where I'm sitting in my shit at home and then one of them will text me like, this is going on. And then I get to be in that and be in the solution for them. And then the call's over and I forget what I was thinking about or what the whole world was about to melt over, 5 minutes ago. That's doesn't even matter anymore. And I have a sponsee that just moved to Tennessee, and she's been with me her whole 3.5 years. Her sobriety date is 1 day before mine's and a year after me.
Nice.
So she's April 6, 2022, and she just moved to Tennessee, and I've been really sad about it. And I talked to my sponsor about it, and she's like, that's her journey. She's not yours. And I'm like, oh, I thought she was. But I have had some amazing women put in my path to teach me different things. I have some that teach me patience, and I have one that's taught me how to love and receive love because, I didn't talk about it too much, but, due to some sexual abuse is why I was in foster care. And I don't like to be touched, or like I won't even go get a facial because they're like massaging your face and they do the whole right here, and I can't. And I have this sponsee that every time we're in a meeting, she just wants to be next to me and she'll hold my hand, and I'm like, and it's been 3 years that I've been with her, and I've gotten a little bit better with that, and she's helped me to receive love, like good love in a different way, and each one of them teaches me something different and continues to teach me something different. And I'm so grateful for those women. I don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for them. Every time I sit and I think about my sobriety, I can't see my life without like the women in this program. And I'm not a woman's woman. It scares me to go to all women's meetings. I feel more comfortable in a co-ed meeting. But I love the women that are, in the program. Every single one of them is I think it's just a crowd of like 50 or more that scares me for some reason. But in little chunks, I can take them. I'm part of a big sobriety family with Wendy being one of my sobriety sisters. And they've taught me to be more of a woman's woman. I went to a woman's retreat last year and I wanted to hate it. And I went just so I could tell my sponsor that it sucked and I wasn't going to go back. And I went, and the first night I was like, I'm having so much fun. Like, oh my gosh. So this year I joined the committee like a good alcoholic, doing everything to the max. And it was just an amazing experience to be of service at the retreat. I don't know, this program has given me like this journey that I never thought I was going to take. And this path that I don't know where it's taking me, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm happy and I'm content. I had mentioned that, right before I got sober, I was okay if I didn't wake up anymore. There was no happiness in my life, and it was all me and my perspective on how I was viewing my life because everything is the exact same right now, and I'm so fucking happy. Like, I wake up every morning thanking God that I'm awake and that, I wasn't allowed to be in my self-will and take myself out. When I went into rehab that day, I was on my way out 100%. I knew it. I could feel it. But God saw it fit for me to stay for whatever reason. And I'm very, very grateful for that. I just want to thank you guys for having me here tonight. I'm beyond grateful for that too. My husband's like, you're going to make the drive all the way over there. And I'm like, you know what? I used to drive further for stupider shit. Like when I was in my drinking, like I'd go all the way to downtown LA, drinking on the way and drinking on the way back, and didn't care. And now I know that there's a purpose, and if, anybody's on there and thinks that their story is boring and you relate to mine, welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous. There's somebody here that will be able to relate with you and you just have to stick around a little bit longer and listen for the similarities. You know, don't go too far, don't stray too far. And you know, I did eventually open up my big book. My husband brought it to me while I was in rehab, and I cracked it open, and I haven't closed it since. You know, I'm in the book every single week, a couple of times a week, doing step work with sponsees, and the answers are all in the book. And this program has a solution if you're new, or fairly new, or just coming back. You know, stay, give it a chance. Don't leave, like they say, don't leave before the miracle happens, because you're the miracle. And the fact that you're here right now, you know, there's a reason for that. So thank you guys so much for letting me share today. I very, very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Love
thank
that.
you. What an incredible program that you're running. Like, that's the stuff that I like to hear, because, you know, you're talking, and what I hear is recovery. You know, we all it doesn't really matter how we got here. What connects us all, though, is we all know what it feels like to hurt inside. You know, and it's like, your story might not be my story, but we felt the same way. Like when we walked through the doors, we felt the same way. And I just, there was so much stuff that you said that kind of like reminded me of the podcast that we did earlier, because, like, you know, we get to find our understanding of our higher power here inside of these rooms, you know, and it's a spiritual journey that we're blessed to be on when we start working these steps, right? There's spiritual principles in these steps, and you know, the God of that you thought was I had to either be good or bad was the same God that loves you just the same today. And I mean, I'm looking forward to a lot of you guys watching today's podcast that'll drop, who knows, in like a month, but it was so good. And the guy really, this guy had 46 years sober.
Wow.
And been working the program since 1979.
Wow.
You know, and like we got to, and he's also like one of those historians too. And he produced a movie about Bill W. And just the whole, it was nice to hear what Alcoholics Anonymous used to be like, because like Narcotics Anonymous was different when I walked in the rooms in 1996 compared to what it is today. You know, and it's no judgment. They all serve the purpose, right? Because the purpose is to work the steps and then help another addict through.
I did an A for 2 years, my first 2 years.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I can't drink, then I'm just gonna smoke weed every day, and that's frowned upon. So I was like, let me go to NA too, and I did an NA meeting for 2 years.
Yeah.
Just to you know, remind myself.
Yeah, we can't do nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, and I mean, he even brought that part up
Yeah, he did.
in there too, because like Alcoholics Anonymous doesn't mean that you can do other stuff. Like it's a complete abstinence program as well. You know, and Alcoholics Anonymous got it right so many years ago.
Yeah.
Like we have a hole in our hearts. You know, we're spiritually sensitive people, and without a higher power, we try to stuff everything else into that hole. Whatever it is. It could be food, money, sex, drugs, shopping, gambling, rock and roll. Rock and roll. I just sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's all about. But thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And coming down and being vulnerable and bringing your son came with you.
Yes. I
What a gift.
It is. He would not spend time with, definitely not in my addiction, but you know how they get older. You said you have a 17-year-old. I have a 18 and a 22-year-old, and you know, for the most of their lives, like I was drinking, and I was always the Girl Scout mom leader and the band mom and the mom that did everything for them, but I was there and I couldn't wait to leave so I can drink. Or I was like, oh, when is this going to be over so I can, or like, let's have this event at Dave and Buster's so I can have drinks there. And I was never fully present, you know, and being able to be present in their lives now as they're older is different, and I do regret that I missed out on that time. But being in these rooms has brought people into my life that remind me that I'm here now, and that that's all that matters,
Yep.
and that I can't regret the past nor wish to shut the door
That's
on it.
right.
And I have a sponsee that, got sober at 27. That's the first time I came into AA. And she's remained sober, and she just had her first baby. And to be able to see her be a sober mom from day one is giving me a glimpse of what it could look like and what it could look like for other people. And I get to live through that, and see it in other people. And that brings me a lot of happiness and joy.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Though you said something about sponsoring and having doing something like you got your first sponsee like when you had a year sober, and this guy was like, so this guy in 1979, Alcoholics Anonymous was not as big as it is, and some guy walks up to him. He had 28 days sober, and he says, "Will you sponsor me?" And so he's like, I don't know what to do. So he calls his sponsor, and his sponsor picks up the phone, and he goes, "This so and so wants me to sponsor him." And his sponsor said, "If this guy is sick enough to ask you to sponsor him, then you say yes."
Yeah, because he was scared that he was like, I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm not ready. Like all the things that we tell ourselves, and then we were laughing because his sponsor like hit the nail on the head with like, dude.
And that's old school Alcoholics Anonymous, because if you read in the books, that, and I'm an NA guy, so I quote that literature the most. An addict with one day can help the guy who hasn't gotten sober yet.
Yeah.
An addict with 2 days can help the addict with 1 day get the second day. And that's how this program works. There is no rules to, you have to be a year sober before you can sponsor people. You just have to be willing to,
That's
and look, and the truth is, I loved what this dude said. I love old school Alcoholics Anonymous. If you're sick enough to ask me, even today, me with like 8.5, if you're sick enough to ask me to sponsor you, then I better say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They also had requirements though in AA back in those days, is that you needed to get a job. You had to get a job before you started working the steps.
Wow.
It's crazy, right? Because you want to know why?
Why?
They actually wanted you to start making your amends process, your financial amends to people right off the bat.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's the ninth step is the last step. I mean, that's where all the freedom comes.
Yeah.
Right? We do all of this stuff to get to the ninth step, to get rid of all of that. That's the final, cleaning of your side of the street and making those amends. And a lot of our amends are financial amends, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that may be. And their thing was, when you got a job, 15 cents out of every dollar got put aside to make your financial amends. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool to just get some history on, Alcoholics Anonymous and, that far back. Anyways, Chuck, you'll really enjoy it. Chuck Zamzow, I know he's kind of a NA historian as well. We got some hands up. Should we
Jerry.
Should we get rolling? Jerry, where you been, Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry.
I've been Jerry addict. I've been hella busy.
Nice.
I got a full schedule now for work.
Nice.
Working treatment. I want to thank the speaker. I related a lot. I also been in and out of treatment so many times. My choice of drug is crystal meth. I live currently in downtown. Doing sober living. But it's structure for me. I need that because I know what my disease will take me if I decide to leave. Right now, I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at. I get to enjoy life. I'm working on my amends right now. I heard him speaking about it. It's like right now I'm working with my brother, trying to make that amends. If he wants to accept it, it's okay. If it's not, I'll try again later on in the road, but I've done it so many times. I'm grateful. I also wanted to commit suicide 3 years ago, but God had a different plan, and I'm here. I'm here. Yes, I have sponsees also. And I asked my sponsor. And I didn't ask him. He told me, okay, you don't have a year, start sponsoring. Okay. I was showing up. I go to meetings, get commitments, be of service. And like today, there was a guy who came in my sober living house, and like he was living here, got kicked out because got loaded again. And he said, "Man, I feel like shit. Let me help you out. What do you need? I need to go to treatment. And let me see what I could do. Pull some strings, talk to my boss. Hey, I have a guy who wants to go. And he's okay. Have him call me tomorrow morning. He's okay. Call. I fed him, gave him some water. Here, go. Stay at this shelter, and just call first thing in the morning. It's okay. And I get to do this now. Being sober, and it's like doors has been opening up, blessings after blessings after blessings. And like today, I need a meeting today, so and that's why I'm here. So thank you. I was able to relate to it. Thank you so much.
We love you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly.
Hi guys, Kelly, addict, cocaine, marijuana, and alcohol. Thank you guys for having me again. I'll be 8 months sober on the 27th of this month. Si Diosito quiere, con el favor de Diosito. So leaving it all up to him, and I know I have a big part in it too. So been getting involved in the church and stuff, and I like what you had said about you getting to know God, but like on your terms. And that's basically what I'm doing because I know that I can't do it on my own. I definitely don't want to try. I'm still new at this, and I know if I go out, I'm not going to be able to come back in. And I know that for a fact because I was gone. I was out for 10 years, and I had the state troopers pull me over and stuff. So that's the reason I stopped using. It was enough to scare the shit out of me. So I got caught up in that stuff. So grateful that it was like in a form of a blessing in like a disguise type of thing. So I started to get involved in the church and get my sacraments now. And I went to Saturday Mass, and I went for reconciliation, and the priest goes and he taps me on the shoulder, and we already built like rapport with each other, and he's like, "Hey Kelly, do you mind if you step in to be an usher?" I was like, "What, me?" Like, okay, yeah. So I go and I'm in like a polo shirt and I'm like covered in tattoos and stuff, but he didn't seem to mind that now. So I was very blessed and fortunate. And the next morning when I opened up my Bible, it was Isaiah 46 that it opened up to. And I was just like, okay, well, thanks. So I gave it. And now every morning I start my day with a prayer because I know that I need to do that. Because he needs to get in my head before I do. Because if I get in my head, it's going to go downhill from there. And if Kelly gets a hold of the reins, it's self-destruction. So Kelly can drive that car with no brakes, no wheels, and still manage to get it to his destination. The wheels could be on fire, and I'll still manage to get it where it's going. So, but I definitely know I don't want to go there. So I have my niece's quinceañera coming up and stuff. And Mom's like, "Oh well, what are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "I'm just not gonna drink. If it gets too much, I'm just gonna, with respect, I'm just gonna give Ellie a hug and get out of there." Because if I can't be around it, I'm not gonna put myself under that pressure. So, so I have a backup plan and stuff like that. I have a sober buddy that's going to go with me from rehab that I still have contacts with them. So they're going to go with me and stuff like that. But thank you guys for letting me share. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Kelly. Diosito siempre quiere si puede, okay?
I agree. I hope that was the right thing to say.
It was.
Okay.
Kathy.
What's going on, Kathy?
Hey, Kathy, alcoholic. Good to see everybody. I'm recovering from Kelly's share. not to crosstalk, but God, I love this meeting so much. This is my favorite day of the week. And thank you so much to our speaker. I loved all the God pouring out of you, oozing out of you. Well, there's a lot of God in this group. And um God, I love sobriety. I mean, life is hard. The blessings are all around. Um, I've met so many neat people just through Recover Out Loud, and yeah, you hit on so many things, and the shares are hitting on so many things. Backup plans are great, Kelly, and I love watching. I love feeling my growth, and I love watching other people grow in this program, in all the programs. I mean, alcohol is my gateway drug. I mean, I did all kinds of shit. Keep forgetting that long before I ever did cocaine, I was already doing beauties in high school, I think. God, I love black beauties. I forgot all about that shit. And just everything. But stuffing that hole. I've used food for so long to do that, and I'm and all of the heavy duty things been going on in my life the last year and a half. I was going right back to that. I had to get some help. I'm glad I got some help because um when I have what I've learned in AA and everything is like, once I have a healthy um, relationship with something, it just fuels me to go forward. And I am learning a healthy relationship with food. And I'm sad that a couple people that had commitments to be on here are not on here. But I'm happy that I'm here and that we're all here, and that my other person that had a commitment to climb on here is here. This is my number one thing on Tuesdays. It, and I think next Tuesday my home group is having a potluck, so um
What
I'll
you
miss it.
what you
But
trying to say? It's fine.
what I'm trying to say, I know I want to be in two places at one time, but I have to be of service
That's right.
because I'll be back down in SoCal in a couple months and I won't get to see these folks anymore. But it's really cool because I only go down to SoCal to go on vacations to see my family. Now when I go on a trip, I'll be going back up to the Redwoods to hang out with my peeps. So thank you for being here, you guys, and thanks for listening and being part of my recovery. Love you.
We love you, Kathy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Wonder if you're gonna be here for our next Recover Out Loud on December 12th.
No, she said a couple months.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
Are you sure it's Wendy? It could be Michael. Oh
I'm
no.
pretty sure it's usually both.
I see what you guys are doing there. You got the white you got the white hand up.
And then the black hand.
I was like, I guarantee Chad's gonna say something.
What's up, guys?
Oh gosh. Hello. Oh, Lorraine. Man, I can't see. Show Lorraine. Anyways,
Oh, it's on me. Jesus,
I
get it
know.
off of me.
Emily.
God, Emily. There she is.
I don't even know where to look.
Oh yeah.
There.
If you look straight ahead, it'll be
Oh,
to
I
them.
loved your share. I'm so happy to see you. You are absolutely a blessing in my life. I'm so blessed to call you sister, right? I understand too. I remember when our sponsor said, this is what we do. Like I was looking for a sponsor and I got all these signs that it was supposed to be Nina, and I just didn't want to admit that this is what it was supposed to be, right? And then when she said yes to me, she was like, okay, we have a family meeting and we have come to my house once a week. And then we do this and we go to this meeting and that meeting and this women's meeting. And I kept thinking, oh no, I didn't sign up for this. Like, this is not what I wanted. Right. And I had to be willing to be uncomfortable. I had to be willing. Like, I knew that God put her in my path. So I knew that it couldn't be wrong. And so it was like, man, okay, so I'm going to do these things. And, I being around the women, I just wasn't sure. But the thing is, God knew exactly what family I needed to be in. And so just I'm blessed for that. Like that is a huge gift for me. Um, and then something that I heard that was, you know, that not having another day, just knowing like I'm gonna die today. You know, there was this moment that I had, and I thought I was gonna wait one more day, and I knew I didn't have another day in me. And I hit the ground. It was the day I hit the ground and hit my knees and said, please, you know, God help me. And, you know, my story is different because I have more than one date. But man, that feeling of knowing I was going to die, that's different. Like that's, and I related to that. And then just being brought back to God because I was raised in religion and I was raised in the church. And I remember thinking that I was too bad for God's love,
Mm-hmm.
having a baby at 15, having the sexual assault as I was younger and all this stuff. I felt dirty, I felt shameful, and I felt like there's no way. And you know, my mom used to say good people make bad decisions. It's okay, God loves you. And I used to think, but I'm not lovable and I'm not worthy of love and I'm not a good person. And AA showed me that I wasn't a bad person. I was an alcoholic, I was an addict, and I had something that had a solution, and God was the answer. And I feel like the reason that I feel God in this meeting is because there is recovery. And that for me, they're the same. God and recovery are the same. And I feel like that's why God just feels present here because there's recovery, you know, and that connection is the opposite of our addiction. So, like, of course, there's God because there's connection. Okay, I could keep going. I'm done.
We
Michael,
love
are
you,
you
Wendy.
sharing or?
Love you too.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Michael.
All right. Hi, Lorraine.
Hey,
I love
Mike.
you.
I love you too.
I'm so glad you made it, and I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. It sounds like
Yeah.
definitely. You've been like a huge factor in my recovery, like and just friendship as well. Like it's been. I know they initially they're like, oh, in AA you're not gonna make friends. You make these people in recovery, but they become family and friends, and it's like you develop these relationships where like these are people that I know without a doubt I can call, and without a doubt they can call me for whatever. And it's that feeling of being okay, like being able to be a friend and being able to receive friendship from other people and nurturing these friendships and relationships. And it's huge because it is contrast to like relationships I've had with actual blood family when I was active in my addiction, and versus like the relationships I have now in this healthier version of me. And this person is still improving and still learning and growing. But I'm able to like remember like with these steps that like I'll get irritated where I'm like, this motherfucker is like trying to remind me of this old version, et cetera, et cetera. And finding that line because I'm going to like a therapist as well as doing the step work, like not holding it against them and holding that anger and like drinking that poison, but also setting that boundary with the steps because you develop that self worth after going through the steps and shit as well. You're like, yeah, I have fucked up, I made some mistakes, but I am not a terrible person. I'm not going to be like some doormat or something like that. But you learn like where can I be compassionate? How can I be of service? And sometimes it's people around me in the rooms are examples. Like the friends that I have are examples because I'm like sometimes I'll be ready to go 0 to 100. Like certain shit like I've had to learn like okay what would so and so do or like pray meditate because work is an example of like I had to learn to remind myself to bring the program with me, but it doesn't. My knee jerk reaction is not that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like it'd be on some other shit, but then I'll dial back and think like, all right, I'll take a walk, meditate, pray, call somebody in the program, let
Mm-hmm.
talk about some shit because it's a fucking day to day thing. Like it is a continuous spiritual practice, and it allows me to be have some compassion and patience with people that I may not necessarily like, but like just kind of be like, okay, maybe this is a sick person. Like maybe they're dealing with some shit, etc. And I'll still set my boundaries, but it allows me to not have so much like animosity and spite or like readiliness for fucking violence in my heart towards them. It's just like, all right, I remember when I was fucking calling people at 2 o'clock in the morning drunk. Fucking so let me have a little more tolerance for people. And it does help because it allows you to be of service to where it may be a barrier if my ego or my attitude gets in between like this interaction with the person.
you. I freaking love you, and I already know. You don't have to say that you love me more than Wendy. It's okay. We already know.
I love you both.
love, love you guys.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Love you too. Love you, Natalie. Chat.
Who's Gina?
Gina.
Gina,
Gina.
you better be real. That's all I can say.
She is.
Oh, she is. Oh, okay. We've had some
she's my
weird
girl.
shit.
Yeah,
We had
she's my
some.
girl that just moved to
Hi.
Tennessee.
Oh.
Yeah. My name is Gina. I'm an alcoholic and I'm that bitch that moved to Tennessee. And Lorraine is my sponsor. And we have 1 year and 1 day apart. And yeah, first I wanted to say I see all my sisters on here, my brother Michael. Hi. Lorraine really knows how to draw 'em out. And hi Michael, your son. Hi. I just got out of a meeting here in Tennessee and I jumped right on so that I could hear, your lead. I love this lady, guys. I have to tell you, I know that I identify as an alcoholic. Party favors are part of my story, but the reality is party favors didn't come in unless I was drinking. So I identify as an alcoholic. Um, and oh, did I mention that I'm the bull in the china shop? And that's really what Lorraine's gonna miss because shit just gets real when I walk in the door. I can't help it. It's my personality, but I love my life in Alcoholics Anonymous because the promises come true for me. I get to be here in Tennessee with my son, who is one of us. Well, we're both in a good place because of the things I learned in Alcoholics Anonymous and the things I learned from you, Lorraine. Um, I need a person that will tell me the hard truth, but will walk that walk, not turn around and be doing the opposite. I can see that shit a mile away, right? But Lorraine talks the talk and walks the walk. And I promised her I would get a commitment before a month would be in Tennessee because those are my basics, right? That's my accountability. And I did. And I got one before I even left. So I get to see my family in Covina because I have a commitment to them, which keeps me accountable. I get to be this close to you, Lorraine, because I get to have that family chat and I get to see you and be with you. Um, for those that are on here that are struggling, that are new or newly back, do the fucking work. It works. It really works if you work at it. I know it's cliche and all these things that we learned when I came in, like can't keep it and to give it you gotta give it away to keep it. And I was like fucking the stupid shit I've ever seen in my life. And then my sponsor, someone tells me at 6 months, like, hey, can you sponsor me? And I was like, no, I'm not doing my steps. And my sponsor's like, whoa, woman, put on the brakes. I was like, fucking kidding me. Now, mind you, I'm 55 years old. I got 15 years on this woman, and I have had a bunch of female bosses. I don't like none of them. I don't respect none of them. And this lady is my boss lady. She told me to sponsor. I fucking sponsored. Best thing that ever happened to me since I've been in program. A lot of fantastic things have happened, but sponsoring is right there on the top of them. And she shows me every day how to do it. I love you. And thank you for inviting me here today. Bye.
I love
Thank
that.
you, Gina.
That's amazing. Bring us on home, Undead Club.
What happened to Emma?
She said no, thank you. She's like, the meeting's over at 7.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Hey guys,
Hey.
Brandon Alcoholic. What's up, Chad?
Not much. How are you?
Only Chad.
Yeah,
I'm right here. What the hell? I'm right here
see.
too, Brandon. Damn.
Natalie too. All right, moving on. So Lorraine, it sounds like, first off, thanks for your lead, and it sounds like you got a lot of people that look up to you, and that you run a pretty solid program. I'm hearing a lot of love go your way. And I felt like since last week I didn't get a chance to chime in here. I felt like I needed to share at least once this week in a meeting. But what I heard reminded me of it's funny today. I guess in recovery, as you get some time, sometimes you forget exactly where you came from. And Amanda and I got a chance to go out to Riverside to this this art museum, this exhibit that Travis Barker put on. And when we were coming back, we drove by this area and I saw someone that was homeless and they were laying out on the ground. And Amanda was like, "Wow, that's rough." And I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty rough." And it took me a minute. Like I found myself kind of going back and reliving my life in addiction there for just like 30 seconds. But right after that, I immediately remembered like what this program has given me. You know, like when I first came in here, like I was blown out, I was smoked out. I barely, you know, I didn't have a checking account, I didn't have a cent to my name, and I relied on the love and kindness of others. And that was all people in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. And you know, sometimes you get a little glimpse of what it was like to be in addiction, or you know, you get brought back. And I feel like the meetings the meetings are definitely a great reminder, especially when you get to hear a newcomer share their experience and what it's like in those first few days. But I want to say thank you for your lead tonight, reminding me, and Chad and Natalie
Thank you.
and Natalie. Yeah, man, it's this meeting that you guys put on is such a gift. You know, when Amanda and I get to come in here, and we get to tell other people about what this meeting does and what it's brought to us. It's just a gift for everyone. So I just want to say thank you guys for taking the time every week to host this and to offer, you know, an hour plus time, and you know, just to help us out. So Amanda, did you want to share?
No, we got one more. I'll share. I shared last week. Hi, guys.
Hi,
Hi.
All
Amanda.
right. But yeah,
We
again, thanks Chad, thanks Rain, and thanks Natalie.
Thank you.
we
love you guys.
appreciate you guys so much, and everybody that comes to this meeting. I mean, for us, this is everything. Like I love this. I have another like meeting that I go to in person that is like my home group, but this is really like my home group.
I mean, this
You
is
know.
our. I agree. This
Yeah.
is like our
This is like my everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. And Jesse's there.
Jesse, you have a burning desire. Where did you come from? I didn't see your hand.
He came after.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I'm
dude.
not-
Like
Our parents are on here, Chad. God damn, we almost
I'll
made it
stop
an
it
hour
there,
without
'cause-
your ridiculousness.
Almost.
Jesse, bring us on home. Get us out of here.
we were really
All right,
close.
all right.
Really close.
Stop it. Stop. All right.
It's 7
Hi,
o'clock. See what happens.
Jesse.
All of a sudden, he turns into like a cuckoo bird.
Yeah. I'm not allowed out after
Yeah.
7. So we could get this wrapped
Yeah.
up. I'm just
All right.
playing.
All right. Sorry. I'm Jesse, and
You're on
I'm
fire.
an addict that identifies as an alcoholic. God, Chad, you got me all. All right. Never mind.
Flabbergasted?
Yeah.
Flustered?
something like that.
Which one?
Something like that.
Okay. I'll let you go now.
This is an amazing meeting, guys. I love it. I love it. I was so sad that I missed last week. But I decided to spend some time with the family because I hadn't spent much time with them. So it was good, but I'm really glad I hopped on. I've just been listening this whole time, and you know, your story, it really spoke to me because I one thing that stood out is I remember being there, uh, thinking like I didn't lose anything. I didn't lose my job. I didn't lose my car. I didn't lose my wife. Right? No divorce. Like, um, but I'm lucky enough that I knew I had a problem, and I didn't know what to do about it. I got into a point where I didn't know what to do, and I knew I couldn't do it alone. And I reached out and asked for help, and you know, I still my wife, I'm so fucking lucky that she stayed with me. And um you know, I've had a lot of things change since then, but the biggest thing that changed was me,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the only thing that I could change. And it took me a long time to realize that it wasn't the outside, you know, it wasn't the job, it wasn't the location, it wasn't the people. You know, people that I was around had a little to do with it, but I mean, there were times when I separated myself from them and I found myself with myself. And little do you know, I'm the problem. You know, I'm my biggest problem that I can't solve. And yeah, I think the program for the actual solution to me, and it's God. And I wasn't comfortable with that at first, but I just kept doing what everyone else said. And like you, I found my God again. You know, he's always been there, but I reconnected. And I want to thank you guys all for being here. You guys are a huge part of my recovery, and thank you for sharing. And remember, guys, there's no one right way to recover. So whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Love you guys.
Keep doing it. Love you, Jesse. Why you? Why? What?
I don't know. Chad's on fire.
I'm not. I was just
Out of
like,
control.
I'm totally calm now. Jesse relaxed me. It was
Oh, God.
great.
Thank you so much for your lead. Matt's already shaking his face, like his head.
Where's Matt?
Chuck is getting out of control in the chat, too. He said,
I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying.
Kristen is too. Skin buddies.
Yeah, skin buddies.
Things are getting wild. On that note, Chad's going to lie to you right now.
Look at your mom.
She's probably mortified.
Look at your
My
your
dad's saying, hell
dancing.
yeah.
Your dad's dancing. Let's get this
Yeah, look at
party
him.
over with. Again, though, guys, we skin pet. It's skin pet. Oh God, that is.
See, Matt already knows. Chatty Chad, lie to us, please.
Okay, I'm going to. But before I lie to you guys, I want to thank everybody for showing up every week. It means
Yes.
the world to Natalie and I. Thank you for coming and sharing
Thank you
your
for having me. I appreciate
your
it.
Amazing.
experience, strength, and hope. And let's also never ever forget little M
Little M
over
on
there.
the 1-2.
Lee?
She doesn't really like that nickname, so I'm just gonna. Go
I don't
back.
care
I'm
what
gonna
she
call-
likes.
I'm gonna
Little
call
M
her-
it is.
Her name is Emily. Thank you, Emily, for all
Yes,
you
Emily.
do for the Hopeaholics podcast.
And the crew.
And then, guys, we are the only meeting in the entire universe that dances out. So if you've made it this far, turn on your cameras if you're willing to make a fool of yourself and have a good time, because that's what we do around here. We are not, Chuck, we are not a glum lot.
That's right.
We have fun.
I mean, have you seen our Costco hauls?
We'll be dropping a new one tomorrow. So,
Oh,
you know,
boy.
I do want to tell you guys that, and I probably shouldn't say this to the world, but G's going to kill me if he's on this podcast.
Charlie's on
he
here.
is.
I saw him.
He is.
Hi, Charlie.
We make our Costco hauls the same day we drop them. So,
Oh, my gosh. What are you doing? Charlie, come get your boy. Oh, wow. Chad's about to give you guys the address, too.
it's 33171.
Out of control.
No, I'm
On
just
that
kidding.
note, Emily, cue the music.
Yeah, cue the music, guys. Cue the music. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
We
Amen.
love you guys.
Oh, I just
Recording.
got a text from G. Shut the fuck up.